Okay, so let's talk Super Bowl and draft. Want to congratulate the Eagles and the Chiefs on their trip to New Orleans, which, by the way, is about 4 hours from me. So, well, about 3.5, actually. So, want to congratulate both teams. I know it's going to be a great game. My personal opinion, I think the Eagles are going to pull it off, but that's only if they play like they did last week, right? If they play like they did last week, like they have absolutely nothing to lose, they're going to beat the Chiefs. No doubt about it. Now, I'll tell you why I think that here in just a second. But first, welcome to the channel. If you're new with us, welcome. We're glad to have you, glad to know you. I hope you'll like and subscribe. We appreciate it very, very much. And let us know what you want to talk about. And we're glad to talk about any kind of sports here, right? As you can see, I'm in a basketball shirt right now. So, yeah. But, as you know, we're always willing to talk about any kind of sport. We've got softball coming up, college softball. We've got a lot of things going on. We got to talk about basketball here coming up. But this week's all about the Super Bowl and the draft, because football season is my favorite season of the year, personally. So, I do have to say this, though. I do have to say this, and we said something about it last week, too, because it was not good. The Chiefs won, and deservingly are going to the Super Bowl. Now, before I say this, I want you to not get me wrong, right? The Chiefs are a very talented team. Mahomes, Kelsey, Coach Reed, very, very talented team, right? All the way around. They've got a lot of weapons for Patrick to go to and this, that. Great team. And no doubt they deserve to be there. However, this past weekend, Sunday, a few days ago, I guess you'd say, I don't think they would have won that ball game if it wasn't for the officiating. I'm just saying. Now, I don't think that the Chiefs paid the refs or anything like that. What I do think is that the refereeing was so one-sided and some terrible calls again for the second week in a row, that game was so close, I don't believe KC would have won that game had it not been for the officiating. There's some officiating stuff that's going to have to be looked at in the offseason, because there was some bad calls. Bad calls. Again. And I'm not just the one saying this, right? If you watched the game and you heard a legendary referee sitting up in the booth with the guys saying, yeah, I'm not sure that I agree with that one, or that just didn't, I didn't see anything there. You know, this is what I'm talking about, right? Just like Troy Aikman did last week. Not this past game, but the game before, where Troy was like, yeah, I'm just not seeing anything. I don't know what they're calling, you know? So, yeah, they've got to really look at the officiating crew, especially those two crews that did those two games, and figure out what we're doing here. If a game is called fair, square, down the middle, I don't have any problem with anybody winning, you know? So, that's where I stand on it. But I got a pick for you. I think the Eagles win it by a touchdown. 7. It's going to be a close game. It's going to be a back-and-forth game. You got really, really high-powered offenses, again, just like this past week with the Bills and the Chiefs. So, but I think the Eagles are going to pull it off because I think they're playing right now like they can't lose. You know what I mean? So that's just my opinion. Now, let's get on to the draft here. All right, so they've got the top 10 players for the draft ranked like this, right? Travis Hunter from Colorado, cornerback at number 1. And this is the pick section they've got him in right now. Ashton Jeanty from Boise State, running back at number 2. Kelvin Banks Jr., offensive tackle at number 3 from Texas. Shedeur Sanders from Colorado, QB at 4. And Tetero McMillan from Arizona, wide receiver at 5. Mason Graham, defensive tackle from Michigan at number 6. Abdul Carter, defensive end from BYU at number 7. Cam Ward, quarterback from Miami at number 8. Princely Yamanalan from Ole Miss, defensive end at number 9. And then Will Johnson, a cornerback from Michigan at number 10. Now, in my opinion, and I'd love to know what y'all think on these, by the way. In my opinion, I think there's going to be some trades made before this thing even kicks in good. I think Cam Ward's going number 1. Just my opinion. You know? Now, I could be wrong, but that's just my opinion. And I think Shedeur Sanders will go number 2, and then Travis Hunter will go 3. That's just my top 3 right now, and that's what I'm thinking. Now, I could be wrong, because it depends on who trades where to get this thing going, right? But I think the first couple teams that need quarterbacks are going to go right to Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders at 1 and 2 before anything else happens, and then they'll start getting to the defenses and what have you. But like I said, that's, just me. So we'll see. But hey, I'd love to know what y'all think. I can't wait for the Super Bowl. I think it's going to be a great game. It doesn't matter to me who wins it because I like both teams. I actually really like both teams. I don't mind the Eagles. I don't mind the Chiefs. My teams didn't make it, so, it's all good to me. But, I think either way, it's going to be a hell of a game to watch. It's going to be a lot of fun. So, we will be back next week to talk about a few things. We'll probably go over some basketball, look at some scheduling for softball coming up, stuff like that. But we'll talk about that next week, and then we'll talk about the Super Bowl after it's played and get ready for the draft. I hope y'all have an absolutely amazing day. I will see you later, everybody. This is Old Pops. We are out.